Hello BookTube, it's Ben here from the History Fellow channel. I'm here today with a video because the other day I did like a Q&A video for reaching 150 subscribers. But before that I'd been thinking about other videos I could do, and it occurred to me I could do some sort of video which explains like my 10 favourite things, or 10 good things that I'm interested in, which would also coincide with the video for 150 subscribers. And so that got me thinking. I thought I'd do this separate video, and then it'd get people to know a bit more about me, what I'm interested in, what makes me tick, sort of thing, what my hobbies and interests are. So I thought I'd do a list of my favourite things, and you should be able to, up here, as we're going through them, you'll see photos, or maybe if I can get some video clips up on this video, we'll see how well my editing can work. So that's dependent, but anything that I'm interested in should appear up here. So off we go. My 10 favourite things, other than family and children, obviously. My family and my wife and 2 boys come first with everything. So all this is after that. So my favourite, these are in no particular order either. So my favourite things are, I'm starting off with Horrible Histories, which is a history, or a series of history programs, or a series aimed at children here in the UK. There's also a lot of books that coincide with the series, written by Terry Deary, and basically it's a BBC history series that aims to show children history from all around the world, covering lots of different events and people and happenings. And because it's aimed at children, it's all about the gory stuff and all the details, like, you know, there's lots of things about poo and toilets and death and executions and that sort of thing, and all the grimy details and that about history. That's kind of what they celebrate in that history, because that's what the young people like. They like a bit of gore and poo. So that's one of my favourite things. It's aimed at kids, sort of 7 to 16-year-olds, but obviously adults can get a lot out of it, and I know many of my friends really enjoy episodes of Horrible Histories. So that's one of my favourites. I'll also, on a side note, I'll put a link to each hobby, sort of a video I think stands out and shows the hobby well. So check out the info box below this video. Number 2, I'm going to say I am a Manchester United supporter. I can hold my head up high and have no regrets about saying that. Been a fan since I was about 6 or 7. It's just brilliant being a United fan. Obviously we haven't won anything for a little while, so I mean it's a little bit down. But I remember going through all the 90s with Sir Alex Ferguson as the manager, and all the great players we had through the 90s, and just life was happy then. My favourite players are, I'm going to say, Eric Cantona, of course, because he is God. Roy Keane, Bobby Charlton, Andy Cole I really enjoyed, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer when he was a player, I really enjoyed, and just practically most of the players I really enjoy. It's only like obviously each team you have 1 or 2 individuals that you think, you know, kind of don't come up to par, but in the 90s that didn't happen very often. When I think of like the defensive duos of Bruce and Pallister and Ferdinand and Vidic, it just made football and being a young person at the time, I think I was about in my late teens, early 20s, in the 90s, just life was fantastic then, whilst winning lots of things. The other thing I'm interested in is scouting. I've been in scouting since I was 8. It's basically a youth organisation aimed at boys and girls from, I think it's at the moment 4 right up to the age of 18. So you've got squirrels, beavers, Cub Scouts, Scouts, and then Explorer Scouts, and then after that you can become a leader if you want. So I worked my way through the youth bit. Left when I was about 16, but then I joined and helped my mum because she used to run a beaver scout colony. But I've also done, after that, I've done Cubs and Scouts and Explorers too, and I've been doing that. I'm 47 now, so I've been doing that since I was 8, and I think scouting is brilliant. Every kid in the world should do scouting. You learn so much, learn so many skills, and it's just brilliant. You make friends, learn new things. Why wouldn't a kid want to do that? Right, another thing I like or enjoy is ukulele playing. Now I know this kind of falls under the bagpipe thing, in that when people hear a bagpipe, most people hate the sound of a bagpipe, and the same can be said with ukulele playing. But I quite like bagpipes, and I quite like ukulele playing. I just think it's different. I love how you can turn a famous song into something else using a ukulele. And as you'll see from the links I put below, I think there's a group called the Great British Ukulele Orchestra, and they are just brilliant. I love all the work they do and all the songs. Another interest is I'm a big fan of comedy, and I love this comedy series that came out in the 80s in the UK, which was the Blackadder series. Each series covered a different part in history. So you've got my mind escapes me. Around the time of Camelot, I can't remember which king it was under, but he covered that one. The first series wasn't that great, so we tend to ignore the first series of that one. But the next one was the Elizabethan era, then the Georgian era, and then the final fourth one covered the First World War. Stars Rowan Atkinson, Stephen Fry, Baldrick's character, Tony Robinson, and there are a number of other recurring actors that Hugh Laurie's in there that play various characters in the series, and it's just a fantastic, sarcastic humour that quite suits me and I love. So there you go, I love Blackadder, and also I'm going to stick my head up and say I love Dad's Army too. It came out in the UK in the late 60s, early 70s, and it was about the Dad's Army, or the Civil Defence Force here in the UK during World War II, and they've turned it into a comedy. And I think the characters and the jokes in that and the humour are just brilliant. It's all clean, good fun, and it's brilliant watch. It's still re-showing on TV here in the UK now, even though many of the cast, I think there's only 2 of the cast now that are still alive, because they played younger characters. But it was a really fantastic show with great comedy actors. Right, another thing I'm interested in is American football. I've followed American football since about the late 90s. I don't have a specific team, or I didn't go into it wanting to support a specific team, but I suppose I follow the Green Bay Packers and probably the Pittsburgh Steelers mostly. But I'll happily watch any type of any match. I'll support most teams. Really enjoy it. And I just think it's the it seems to me a bit like you're playing chess when you're playing American football, and it's quite strategic and quite intelligent, trying to outfox the other team and the other coaches. And I always think, if I'd grown up in America and gone to school in America, I'd have been trying out for that college football team or their school team. Me and my size, I'd have probably played defence, but actually when I was a teenager, my sport and interests were like, I used to be really good at a 100 metre running, so I'd be good at the sprints. But I can see myself being sort of a defensive player in American football, and I just love it, and I love all the razzmatazz, and just to me it's just a brilliant sport. Right, next thing I'm interested in is true crime. It's a bit dark, this, but things like Jack the Ripper, Dennis Nielsen, many of the other serial killers. I'm not sure what it is about them. I think I like when you watch the programs now and then they reveal all about the killers, and now they're all jailed or they were hung or that sort of thing. I think I just find the process of trying to find these men fascinating, or women. I find the chase fascinating, and finding out how and why and where, and just, all that information that's kind of, it's like one big puzzle, and then you get to read all about them and their characters, what makes them tick and why they've done this, whether they were influenced by various things, their environment or outside forces or that sort of thing, whether they did it with someone else. And I just find true crime really fascinating. And another odd thing I can quite enjoy is conspiracy theories. Things like JFK, Loch Ness Monster, whether we landed on the moon, UFOs, do they exist, that sort of thing. And I suppose it's one of those things where I often believe that we're not told everything, and so I wouldn't be surprised if, all the official documents that came out about JFK, whether that was all just made up and complete bunkum. And it's just nice to, when you get into these sort of cases, trying to find out what everyone else comes up with, like 9/11. There's loads of theories about what really happened there and that sort of thing, and it's a bit like similar to the true crime thing, really, and finding the hunt for serial killers. I just like finding out new things and being intrigued about what's out there that we're not told, and I just find that all fascinating. And I think that's about 9. And finally, my other interest which is quite obvious, is I love history. And let me think. Most kinds of history I really love. I'm getting more into World War II, the Eastern theatre of World War II, and also the Far East, where you got countries like Japan and the fight in the Pacific. But I also enjoy US Civil War, the Irish Famine, politics in the UK, some politics in America, and just I'm a big fan of social history, especially here in the UK when you read about politics and unionisation and women and suffragettes and getting the vote for women and all the laws that come out that affect them and that sort of thing. It's just, history is a whole class of unlimited learning as far as I'm concerned. You know, one of my big things is I like to learn something new every day, and from history I find you can do that in spades and learn tons about history every day, and it seems to be never ending. But anyway, that's the end of coming towards the end of my video. I would like to say thank you very much for everybody watching. If you managed to make it this far, well done. I've got some more videos coming out this week. If you wouldn't mind helping to support the channel, you can do that at buymeacoffee.com/thehistoryfella, and that you'd be I'm very appreciative of anyone who offers to support the channel. I think they're brilliant. If you've got any questions you fancy asking me or comments on my comments, then please feel free to put them down in the video below, or put them down in the comments below this video. Hit the video for a thumbs up please, if you don't mind, that all helps. And if you haven't already subscribed, then please feel free to do so. You'll get lots of history news and information and history books. I'd love to have you as subscribers, and you're more than welcome here anytime. Other than that, thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you very soon.